We just had an amazing social media lesson together. This was amazing.
I need them. I really do. I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
work.
It is work. It's a part of the business now. I accept it. I enjoy it the majority of the time. I think it's great.
When you started off, there wasn't as much social media stuff like this.
Good
right?
God, no. I don't even think we had push button phones.
Yeah. When did it start changing for you?
I think I noticed it most the first season of Teen Wolf.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, it was. So what is that? 6 years ago now, almost 7 maybe.
Yep.
It was the first year, and I can remember seeing Colton. We were all sitting in a warming tent, shooting outside, and Colton was on Twitter, and we were all kind of like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
And he was like, "Twitter," and we were like, we knew about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think we had all had the foresight that he had, and then it just has kind of grown.
Right.
And especially with Teen Wolf, because it's those fans and that demographic is tremendously supportive of that world. So
Absolutely. You just had such an amazing career. I know I was telling you this earlier, and your IMDb resume is just, you've gotten to work with so many great people and so many great
blessed.
shows.
Yeah.
Absolutely blessed.
Yeah.
There's a few things I want to get into later on in the show, but first off, something that really stood out. We just had our 100th episode, and
Congrats.
thank you. And I was talking with some people after the show, and there was this really nice gentleman and his wife who came all the way from Orange County to watch our show. And we were having a discussion afterwards. And he told me this amazing saying that it really, really stuck with me. And it's been like reverberating
Amazing.
since Saturday. And it applies, I feel like, to what you've been doing, because I stalked you a little bit when I found out you were coming on the show, just so I know what to talk to you about.
Nice, okay.
But you do a lot of charity work, which is incredible. And I'm just going to quote what he said to me. Plant trees you'll never see the shade of.
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
Plant trees you'll never see the shade of. Wow.
Talk about like selflessness,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like
And-
a legacy, like thinking of everybody else. Plant trees that you'll never see the shade of. That's
Yeah,
great.
that's amazing. And I see your work, first of all, with Life Ride that you've been doing.
Yeah, we just did that.
And you traveled. You were telling me like 100 miles a day on a bike?
Yeah, we left New York. These guys, this is their 7th year doing it. This is just, Ian and I did it together, Ian Bowen. And this was the first year that we participated with them. But they've done this 7 years. This was their 7th ride. Keels and AMFAR. AMFAR is the leading foundation in research and awareness for AIDS and HIV. So they've been doing it for 7 years, and this was the first year Ian and I did, and this will not be the last. I mean, oh my God, I'm so addicted.
It looked like a blast.
And honestly, it wasn't. I mean, it was incredible experience being on the motorcycles, riding to parts of, the United States that I've never been to, and don't know that I would have gone had I not been on this ride. But on top of that, and almost the complete icing on it all was what the cause was, and listening to, because we would have all these events. We'd stop at these Keel stores along the way, and we'd have these little events, and so hearing Kevin Frost, who's the president of AMFAR, and Chris Elgato, who's the president of Keels, hearing them both speak, and they would basically give roughly the same a speech at each event. It never got tiresome. It was always so unbelievably heartfelt, and the statistics and the issues that were being discussed, it blew me away.
Right.
It blew me away, and it really made me realize that as far as we've come, this is still a disease that is clearly an epidemic,
right.
and definitely still needs the noise around it and the awareness, and it should be cured.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm bringing that up is I'm curious to know what compels you to do this kind of work, just as a person.
Oh my God.
I know that's such a ridiculous question, right? Right? Because it's like, what compels people? Because I feel good when I help people.
Right.
Like, again, from the show, whenever like these people are telling me, oh, your podcast is very motivating, it's very inspirational.
Yeah, amazing.
I'm telling you, man, like, I'm like, I've never met you before.
Right.
And my intention when I created the podcast wasn't like, oh, I'm going to help this specific person who
Right.
doesn't have anything to do with acting, is a teacher,
Right.
and they listen to this podcast with actors talking with other actors or directors or whatever, and they feel motivated, and you could see it in their eyes, like, thank you for doing that. And it's like that feeling you get.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's my explanation for it. I don't know,
Yeah.
but what is there's something else behind it. I don't know what the hell it is, man. You can curse on here too. So,
Yay. Thank fucking God. It's like, if I'm speaking slowly, it's because I'm like, don't say fuck. Don't say shit. I can't not, I think it's the job of mankind I think that's part of what we're supposed to do. I do believe that we are supposed to communicate and share, and by doing that, you bring awareness and you raise money and you do all. It's kind of all goes together for me.
Right.
So even just simply talking in this room with all of these new people, we're all going to have been affected by it, and it might influence us in some way.
Yeah.
And then there's the more personal ones, like, my niece was born with cystic fibrosis 17 years ago. So that was the initial launch into CF and my work with that. Yeah. Because that was just like, we have to, it became such a personal, cause. Now I'm the job that I chose to do, 20, maybe years ago, has now afforded me, a platform, and I think that's our responsibility as well to then now take this and, my dream for my social media is to have it in the millions. I could care less if I get recognized at a Starbucks. That's never, ever been my driving force when I, being an actor. Could care fucking less. I would prefer not to be recognized at a Starbucks or anywhere else. That would be my preference. But I understand that goes with the job. But now with this new, with social media and all of that, my dream is to get it into the millions so that, when there is something that we want to raise, whether it be awareness or money, that we can do that at the, within seconds. Like we can. I've seen friends with those platforms, with that size, and I watched one friend just sort of reach out to his millions and say, "Hey, listen, here's the thing, and this is a big thing right now. This is important. We need to raise this amount of money, $17,000. That's not a lot of money. If every single one of my followers did 15 cents or whatever it was, within 7 days they had raised like $47,000 to help this woman with this. And that to me is, I love that. I love that. And it isn't just the money, it's the awareness. It's the, on this ride, there was a waitress at one of the restaurants, and she came up and started talking, and her initial, because we certain days we're wearing the Keels, Life Ride T-shirts, and so she started talking to myself and one of the guys that works for Keels about AIDS and HIV awareness, and she's in her early 20s, and how she would just been talking about it with her friends the other day and kind of going like, I don't think this thing's gone away yet. Like, I think it's still pretty prevalent. And so we ended up having this amazing conversation in the middle of a restaurant with this lovely girl who was a waitress there. And at the end of it, she went, by the way, I'm a big fan of the show and I think that's great. I love that the conversation was about this issue.
Right.
And it was amazing that she was, and wonderful that she's a fan, but that's having them as followers, on the social media. They're being reached when we're talking. And then they go and talk to their friends, and they talk to two friends, and so on like that. What was that shampoo commercial? Do you remember that years ago? It might have been a Canadian thing. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
No, not at all.
And they're like, it's so amazing. And then they told two friends, and then they told two friends, and so on and so on. And it duplicates. And all the women have like incredible,
what it's called,
beautiful hair, and it goes and so on and so on. That's how I feel about social media.
That's true, though. There's a difference,
Spread
I
the
think,
word.
between like celebrity and influence. And I think because it seems like, I guess celebrity, people liking something for celebrity or being a fan. It seems like a fan would be someone that would be dedicated to a person regardless, as opposed to someone that would initially just be like, I know you, who are you? Oh my God, I love you. And you're like, but you don't even know my name. You just recognize my face.
Yeah, they love the character, that whatever that character is that they're in love with.
There was a really strange. I have a new addiction. It's called Crazy Addictions on TLC. Have you seen the show?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's like a guilty pleasure of mine. Nicole knows what I'm talking about.
It's a TV show called Crazy Addiction.
Okay,
No,
My Strange Addiction.
Oh,
Excuse
wow.
me. So let me explain to you a little bit about this show.
Amazing.
My name is Charisse, and I'm addicted to eating my sofa.
Stop it.
No, I'm not joking.
But she's not serious.
No, she is serious. She consumes the foam in her sofa. Or I'm addicted to eating.
How does that come out afterwards?
Oh, it comes
No
out.
wipe necessary?
The way it comes out.
Does she discuss that?
Oh yeah, it goes into detail. Or I'm addicted to drinking paint. Yes. So like, there's a lot of stories like this, and one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, one of them was I am addicted to celebrity hunting or taking pictures with celebrities. And no joke, this girl works as a bartender.
Yes.
At night.
Yes.
She says 2 to 4 hours of sleep a night, and she spends most of the day hunting celebrities in New York to take pictures with them. And if you go into her room, it's like the perfect character study. That's why I like watching the show.
Yeah,
as
for
an
the
actor.
character study. I believe
oh my gosh,
that.
dude.
I believe that.
So I go out
How
for
old is this girl?
Probably 20s.
Wow.
So-
What's her name?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, if
She
I
live here?
New York City.
Oh, okay.
So you're okay for now, man.
Still might have met her.
It's coming.
So, like, I like watching the show because
Wow.
of character studies.
Oh, yeah.
And so this chick was like, she has like, literal boxes of photos with celebrities, just like boxes and a room is planted. She's like, I love celebrities and I'm addicted to taking pictures with them. And I was thinking in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, she probably thinks she's become a celebrity now because of the TLC show.
Oh, yeah,
So
right.
it's come like weird full
So
circle.
then does she start stalking herself?
Yeah. So, right?
Right?
It's the weird. There's a weird infatuation, I think, with celebrities, which is pretty amazing. Like these people have invested themselves in this fantasy world, and it's a very fine line sometimes. And I'm sure you've experienced it as well, where it's a little much, or it's like a too much investment. You think almost some people, get stalkers from it.
Totally.
I wonder how you handle that as an actor, as a performer, and when people get to that point in their careers with those people.
I have been lucky that it hasn't happened to a severe degree. There was someone who flew from her country to mine because she thought she had a meeting with me to discuss a project.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and physically she was harmless. You know
Right.
what I mean? So it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's disturbing. Obviously, it is. You know what I mean?
It's amazing how the mind walks this thin line.
Yeah.
Of, first of all, the perspective you have on the world that you live around, and how much it's affected by TV and movies.
Yeah.
And that
My
goes back.
God, yeah.
Then that goes back to like your job. One of your jobs as an actor, to be careful and be, like.
Well,
you're on a podium. You know what I mean?
Well, and I just thought of something as you were saying that, which is, because we have to, as actors, believe a scenario and what we are in so wholeheartedly that it's, sometimes I'm sure you must feel like you're on a crazy train as well, right? Those people believe wholeheartedly what, that she had a meeting with me.
Yeah.
About a project because of something I must have said at some point that led her to believe that.
Yeah.
But she believed it so truly that she booked a plane ticket and flew to.
She's actually in the studio. We brought her in here.
Yeah. Nicole, nice to see you again. Sorry, it's been over 10 years.
There's a great quote, and I think it's Aristotle or Plato who said one of the best things about going to the theater is it allows you to live a life without having to, spend years and years. You get to experience a lifetime.
Yes. By watching is what you're saying.
Yeah, by watching for the audience.
Yeah.
And from that, why it's important, you get to learn messages, stories, and hopefully gain knowledge and wisdom, and hopefully it affects your life in a positive way. And I think that's one of the best things we can do as actors. And
Yes.
there's the entertainment value, of course.
Yes.
You were going to say something.
Well,
so-
I think the fascinating thing, if we were to do some sort of large-scale study, is most people relate to those stories, as crazy as they may be. Some of them are that we watch in the movies and on television, but on some level, because there's really only a handful of core emotions that we feel as human beings. They manifest themselves differently and in different ways, but I think everyone relates to them. I think that's why people, rooted for a serial killer, called Dexter. It's like no one had anything in common on the outside, right? But he had everybody related and loved this man that he created.
Absolutely.
Because he created such a brilliant, truthful, authentic human being that people were like, whether they want to admit it or not, there's something there. And I'm not talking about killing people, but that's, his need for love, his need for acceptance, the struggle, those are all things that human beings go, I know that. That's why they love watching it. That's why we love going to movies and television.
Is that, so let's talk about then your process whenever you get an audition, let's say. And you're, I say attacking the role, but like when you're creating the role in your mind, what goes through your mind initially the moment you get the audition?
A lot of things. There's always a lot of chatter going on in my head. Once I read it and start working on it, I will always look for that thing that I do connect with that isn't, necessarily in the breakdown but that what is at the core, that one thing that I can relate to, because I tend to, in my career, I've played like, the heroin addicts and killers and not good people. But so I always connect to the thing that I can understand. And then everything else then becomes that sort of, I call it the smart actor work, where you're just coloring it with the technical stuff, But at the core, I go, okay, so this I understand what this person is going after.
That's so fucking cool, man. Because that's one of, like, for me, the core belief, that the perspective on the world. Because that can, as you're reading the script, sometimes, most of the time, it says somewhere in the script, for me, what the core belief perspective of this character is. And that helps me start, okay, where can I go from there?
Yeah.
I can build, like, it's almost like building a planet around it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And there are definitely auditions in my career that I just read and I do exactly what is on the page there. I understand that, and some of it is so brilliantly written. Of course, you know, but there are other times as well that art is a collaboration, especially what we do. So, there's someone that has written it. There's someone that has that's going to direct it. There's, there's all these people involved, and the majority of the time I try to say this is my sort of addition to the collaboration process. It's going to be this is what I read. This is my interpretation. And plenty of times I've had casting directors go, okay, oh wow, I see where you're going with this. That's not what they're looking for. That's not right. But wow, that was a great fucking choice. And I'm totally fine with that. I have no problem with that.
Right.
None whatsoever. Because that's art. And listen, if they love the look and they love everything else, then they're still going to book me and they're going to go, listen, let's do it like this because this is what we want.
Absolutely.
And they're great. Then I'll make that choice then.
I think the next step from there too is what's troubling for me sometimes as an actor. It's like I made a strong choice in there. I'm trying to figure out what kind of story are they trying to tell, right?
Yeah.
And placating to that, and also being true to myself, and also trying to make it real in the room.
Yeah.
So it's like those three things I'm trying to like merge into one. And sometimes it feels like, man, I just got to be true to myself on this. It's not totally on the page, but I'm going to take that chance. If it goes for it, great. Is that kind of like along your same lines?
Yes, a lot of the So all of that smart actor work, that we do prior, and I think the most important thing, the first thing that you do is once you get the lines off cold, and you memorize them with no tonation, no nothing, like as plain Jane as you can memorize them, like with nothing, like so monotone. because if when we start memorizing them with the idea of what we think, and this would be great, and this would, this makes sense, I can do it like this, it will be memorized that way. It's going to be very hard to break that.
Interesting.
If you memorize it with nothing attached to it, my personally, this is what works for me.
Right.
I can then go in and literally on that, I mean, it may change the next day. I might have had a shit morning. I might have found out that, God forbid, someone in my family was like something horrible. For me not to take that into the room is a complete mistake. I have to now then go, this is who this guy is today. That's how I approach everything.
Really interesting.
Oh yeah, because they're writing human beings. Like they are real people. We're supposed to bring these real people to life. So, I could very well have had horrible news coming here, and yet I'm going to be pleasant because this is what we have to do right now for the next hour. But in the back of my head, I know that when I'm done out of this, I have to go deal with this mess that just fucking happened. Nothing did, thank God. But
Right.
but we still have to do that. So I'm still gonna smile and laugh and be light. But inside, I could at the drop of a dime start fucking whatever it is. So I think we have to bring that into the room as well. Doesn't mean that all of a sudden you bring into the room this morose and this deep or this angry. Doesn't mean that you change that.
Right.
You still are doing the person, the human being. You have to acknowledge where you're at though on that day. And the amazing thing is it might just be like it might just be the way one word is delivered. I remember I did a movie with Lou Gossett Jr. years ago, and it was right after my mother had passed away, about 2 months after my mom had died. And I came home from being with her and sort of called my agent, was like, I'm like broke, I'd been with her for 6 months. I was like, I need to work. So I booked these 2 movies, and one was with Lou Gossett Jr. and the other one I won't worry about.
All right.
So I'm going back and forth between these 2 movies, and one was a bit of a hassle, but the one with Lou, they were so wonderful and gracious. And there was this one scene, and my hands are tied behind my back, and this guy's like, it's a perfect example of what we're talking about. This guy is a rapist and a killer. He's just a bad fucking guy. His name's Spider. He's in jail. He's just
Right.
douchebag. And I never view any other characters that way when I'm doing them. They're all just regular guys to me. I don't have any judgment on them when I'm doing them. I only refer to them that way once it's done and finished.
Yeah.
So we're doing it, and I'm handcuffed, and I'm in this room, and he's interrogating us, and I'm being a prick to him, and this is what the whole scene was, about. And right before we started, Lou sort of came up to me and he was like, I heard that your mom just passed away. And I went, oh yeah. And he was like, and I heard you were with her the whole time, and I heard that, you went through a lot. And I said, yeah, it was an experience. And I'm in the back of my head, I was like, please stop talking about this, please stop talking about it. And this is like 98. This is really early in my career. And he was like, and he just looked at me and he was like, well, I think it's wonderful what you did. And she'd be very proud of you right now. And I just looked at him and I went, oh yeah, okay. I was like, thank you very much, I appreciate that. And I'm like, I don't want to do this scene right now. I don't want to do this scene. I was so mad,
shit.
so mad. And as we do the scene and we're doing it, and I'm being the prick, and I'm like delivering the lines, and I'm looking at him like I wish he would fucking die, and I hate him, and I hate the guy, and he says this thing, and my line was like my mama used to say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And I looked at him, and this line came up, and I went, well. And everything came up, and then my eyes filled with tears, and I went, like my mama used to say. And I just looked at him, and everything, my body filled up with like goosebumps. I was like, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And he just looked at me, he was like, and it was on my coverage, he was like off the side of the camera, and he went, just nodded. And I realized,
I felt that right now.
And I realized literally what he had done. Like I realized what he had done. And we finished, and the director came out, not knowing anything, the director came out and goes, that was awesome, that take. And whatever, but that was such an amazing experience that I was like, I have to remember this. And I think that's the sort of thing of carrying in where Wessam is at today, where's JR at today into this role.
It's a very Tai Chi kind of like flow way of thinking
love
because you're
that,
not
yeah.
fighting against it.
No, exactly.
So if like
and there'll still be moments when the character does, because we do as human beings still. Like there's still be, but just that, to allow that.
that you hit it on the head. It's allowing those things to happen.
Yeah.
And just, like before an audition, you're nervous.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm not nervous. It just makes you more nervous.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, I'm nervous, but no, I did the work. Yeah. It's fine. And then it's like, one of those things like, oh, wait, I can't wait to do this part. Oh, yeah, that's right. It just frees you up a lot more. And I think just the more you're going out there doing that, I think it helps.
Completely
And
practice.
you're not going to like, okay, I can master this now.
No.
I think it's a daily
it really
grind
is.
for
I
it.
still go to class. I still know I have more to learn. Those are all. I'm still gathering tools from my little toolbox.
Yeah.
It's like I'm still, acknowledging experiences and going, that was a great one. That was a good one. I got to remember that one. They all are feeding me.
Yeah.
I had an audition for a pilot years ago, and I had a horrible. This is the last example of this, and then we can move on.
No, please,
I
go
had a
ahead.
horrible code. Like one of those codes where it affects your speech. Like you can't help but it's like everyone knows because you're like, like it was literally that bad. And I called. I was like, guys, I can't do this. And everyone was like, you need to do this. It's lead of the series, and everyone's there. It was there was like 8 people in the room. It was a huge thing. You have to go. I was like, okay. And I walked in there, and I think his name was, I don't remember, Barry or something. And I walked in the room, and they were all spread out amongst this giant room. And I think it was the head of the network came forward to shake my hand, and I went up against the door, and I went, wait. You don't want to come any closer. And he kind of stopped, and I went, guys, I have a horrible. And I told him, and they were like, and he kind of smiled, and I went, so my first question is, has anyone seen Barry yet with a cold? That was the character name. Has anyone seen him with this version with a cold? And they were all like, no. And I went, that's what you're gonna get right now, guys. And I did it as him with just a fucking head cold and congested, but still made sense of the thing. And it was such an amazing experience. I did not get the part, but it was such an amazing experience.
Oh,
And
that's wonderful.
yeah.
That
was amazing.
you accompanied it with the role like that.
Oh yeah. He said that guy called my team afterwards and said he's way too young to play opposite. The woman that had the other lead. He was like, but I wanted to like call you and directly say that was one of my favorite meetings I have ever had. It was brilliant, and that again made me, I was thrilled with that experience and going, okay, there's something to this.
I know I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but there's a wonderful poem by Rumi, the famous poet, Persian poet. I'm not going to say it all, but he basically states, keep yourself, it's called The Guest House, if you want to look it up later. It's like, keep yourself open to any feelings or any events that come into your life, no matter how good or bad. If aggression or jealousy or sadness come at your door, welcome them in as guests because they might be clearing you out for something else.
That's amazing. I love that.
And that's really cool that you did that.
Love that.
Cool.
Love that. I love that. I've been having a conversation like that a lot lately. We tend to so easily say we're so grateful when things go well. We love it when things line up for us. You know how we say that everything happens for a reason, and we say it when it's good things are happening. We have to do the same when it's bad.
I tend to Yes, I tend to, when things aren't great, kind of quiet down and just kind of absorb.
Right.
And I feel like that's like the best thing.
Because you're allowing it to come in, you're allowing it to sort of be, you're accepting it.
Now, in the past, of course, no, right? But I feel like it's a better way of processing it, for me anyway.
There's still something to learn from that.
Nah. I'm kidding.
That sucks.
Nah, man.
Dark is
What are
dark.
you talking about, JR?
Yeah, let's turn on the light. I hate darkness.
Dude, congrats on Teen Wolf being Fandom of the Year.
Thank you. Yes, that's pretty great, right?
Very big thing, man.
Yeah.
It's so amazing being. You've worked on a lot of shows, but that kind of show where it has that following too,
Yeah.
that, like dedicated followship. And
Yeah.
congrats. I'm very happy for you and the
Thank
whole
you.
cast there. Yeah.
For a show, like, it just one-ups itself every single year. I don't
That's
even know.
nice to hear.
One of my favorite scenes was, well, not favorite scenes for content, but like your performance in that scene at the end of season, I want to say, is it season 3 or 4? When, spoiler alert. Do I
My
say
daughter?
it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when everything happens with, like, she gets
Yeah.
shot and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
that, how did you even go through a scene like that? What's your process for something like that?
Yeah. That was going back to some, because I think it brings the most authenticity to it. So Daniel Sharman, who played a boyfriend at the time and on the show, we had sort of discussed things and went further into what that relationship was for the characters and what my daughter meant to me, and the more I got sort of down there, then I start to sort of find the connection, obviously, what my mother meant to me and my father, and so it's not just the sense of losing somebody that you've lost, but you go a little deeper into it, and so that's some people say that don't, there are actors that don't want to do that, and I totally get it.
Yeah.
And they just want to, make believe, and that works wonderful for some people. For me, it's if I've already had these experiences, then why would I? It just makes more sense to play it more truthful, to say, well, I'm going to do it this way.
Especially for, I felt like your character, like as Chris Argent, like was like that was like his entire story was like to protect her.
Yeah, right.
And like for that to have that ending was just so devastating for a character. You just feel so bad. Like
Yeah, Jeff just kept, like every season it was like, you're losing your wife this season, you're losing your sister.
Yeah, it's just like,
Dad's like in a coma, now your daughter.
Put you through hell.
Love it, yeah. I love it, though.
I like those kind of stories the most, probably, when the character is at the bottom of the barrel, or like there is no hope. And some, obviously, stories, and when I say stories, I mean like television shows or movies, they do it better than others, and some of them have more extreme cases. One of my favorite movies is Red Belt, and I don't know if you've seen it with David.
Red Belt?
Yeah, with David Mamet.
Red Belt?
He directed and wrote it.
No.
Chewy, I never know how to say his last name. He won was nominated for Best Actor in 12 Years a Slave. He was the main guy.
Oh, yes, yeah, of course.
He was the main guy in there, and he plays a
I'm so excited.
Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor.
Amazing.
Trying to stay true to his values. He was taught by an old school teacher, and he was the red belt. They only have one red belt.
Oh, wow.
And so throughout the story, without giving too much away.
Don't tell me the ending.
I'm not.
Because I will watch this movie.
It's my favorite movie of all
I
time.
cannot wait to watch it. If it is not a good movie, I'm going to kill you.
That would be a weird death for me. Like,
Would be,
he was
right?
a somewhat successful actor and
With this-
podcaster, and then like one of his guests went bonkers.
Came back and just killed him.
And then he showed up on TLC's Strange Addiction.
Addiction, right? What a weird way.
So, it would be weird. I'm not going to do it. So Red Belt.
So I'm telling you, every single possible thing that could happen to this guy bad happens. And in a way where betrayal, money loss, just everything bad, and like family troubles, friends dying in the most horrific way possible.
Wow.
And feeling responsibility, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
for that.
gotcha.
And just thinking about it is making me teary-eyed, because there's a point in there where you're just like, fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like,
How much more?
dude, where is this story going?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Bicycle Thieves, the old Italian black and
Yeah,
white movie. You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
Yes, yeah.
Where you're just like, literally, I watched it in college, and
Yeah.
by the end of the movie happens, spoiler alert, nothing good happens in the movie.
Yes.
Nothing gets
that's so
resolved.
true. Yeah.
It's like
amazing.
neo-Italian cinema where it's
Yeah,
showing
yeah.
real life,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
Yeah, real
what
life
the
sucks."
fuck? I'm crying, and there's no resolution to this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're watching it, and you're just
That's
like,
amazing.
how the hell does he get? And he gets out of it.
Don't tell me the ending.
I'm not telling you the ending, man. Don't worry. You need to watch it. And can you get back to me? Because I can have like
I will.
discussions with people about this.
Okay,
movie
Red
afterward.
Belt. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I might actually watch it tonight.
I'll follow you on Twitter. You message me if you like it.
We'll exchange emails and numbers. We're not gonna do that. Come on now.
I said
What's
Twitter
the
on
other-
purpose.
I know, I'll follow you.
He's gonna hate
DM
us.
you. Will you DM me? Yeah. Guys, there's all DM.
Slide into my DMs.
Slide into my DMs. That's right. That's what the kids are doing. Those videos when I slide into my DMs, right? I don't quite understand. Well, there's another movie that I don't know why, but it remind. Is it Umbrella? Is that the name of it? Do you know that movie? No.
I think you guys
Elgin
are
would
just
know.
naming accessories.
I know. Exactly. Have you seen that movie Microphone?
Wait a minute.
Do you know Bottled Water? That was one of my favorite movies.
That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. JR's losing it.
Yeah, seriously. I'm going to remind me to text Elgin James when I'm done this, because it's a phenomenal movie. I have the feeling you'll like it. Okay.
I'll probably watch it tonight.
No, you won't. Do you like
Okay.
Do you like Woman Under the Influence?
I've never seen that.
John Cassavetes.
No.
You should watch that movie tonight.
What's it about? Or
And it's not for rent. You have to buy it on iTunes, but it's not.
that's fine. I'll buy it. I'll support.
Woman Under the Influence by John Cassavetes.
Okay.
Favorite
I'll
movie.
check it out.
Favorite movie. That's my favorite movie.
You want to do some listener questions?
Oh yeah. Oh, people are listening
Yeah, people are listening. And
and watching at the same
hey, what's
time.
up, guys?
Which
We have a
camera is it?
huge fan. Her name is, oh my gosh, Julia Greenglass. Yeah, Julia
Julia
Greenglass.
Greenglass.
What's up? Thanks
Hi,
for
Julia.
watching. She's a fan of the show. She's a fan of you. She thinks you're an
Amazing.
incredible actor.
Wow.
Can I just say, she wrote down, we're not going to answer all of them. We're going to answer maybe one or two. She wrote down like 20 questions, I think.
Wow.
This one's funny. We're not going to answer it. I just want to read it like I'm reading it, she's saying it. Is it annoying getting bombarded with questions about Dylan O'Brien? Because I have a question about him. ... Or two. That's just funny to me.
It's true. Dylan's pretty popular. We love Dylan.
Very. Okay.
Uh-oh.
This.
Are you
well,
trying,
this
are you
is
trying
it.
to find one that isn't
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Dylan?
There was one I had.
Trying to find one that isn't about Dylan.
Yeah, there was like 10 of them. No.
Gotcha.
Here's one.
Yeah. Nope,
What is
that's
your
about Dylan.
What is your hidden talent? Mine is I can recite Disturbia.
Oh, wow.
The movie
Yeah,
or the song?
I think the movie.
The movie.
Disturbia.
What is my hidden talent?
Yeah, she wanted to tell you what her hidden
Gotcha,
talent was to
gotcha.
bridge that relationship.
Gotcha. I've never been able to do that. Julie or Julia?
Julia.
Julie, I've never been able to do it. Like, I'm not great at reciting or quoting movies. That's not my thing. My buddy Michael Chuko can do that really well.
Yeah.
My hidden talent would be, I think I just got asked this in Amsterdam. I don't know that I have a hidden talent. I don't know what it is. Hidden talent. So that's like a talent, that's like something I do at home when no one else sees.
It can be, or it can be something that nobody knows about.
Or an ability?
Oh,
I'll tell you what.
I'm just thinking my friends going, nope. JR pretty much does it all right in front of us, whether we want him to or not. I'm like, there's not a lot that I do alone at home. I do love to sing, and I hate to do that in front of people. I suppose.
Oh, you hate to do it in
But
front
I've
of people.
done it in
Okay.
front of people.
Well, I'll tell you what. This might cancel that out.
Okay, good.
Because this question, I'm gonna add on to this.
Okay.
Will you or anyone from the cast do a karaoke duet of "Total Eclipse of the Heart" with me? Do you know that song?
Yes, of course. No, I don't.
Once upon a time, I was falling in love,
Oh, I hate you.
and now I'm only falling apart.
Yes, you are. 'cause he's not gonna
That's
sing
the
it.
song I sing in the shower.
Do you really?
Instinctively.
Do you really?
I am just literally. I'm walking around. I'm like, I was not consciously thinking of singing that song.
But it's the
just comes
first
up.
thing that comes to your mind.
Weird.
Wow.
Weird.
Really?
Yeah. I believe that. I
shocking
kind of
me.
love that. Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah, that's before your time, too. You're still in your 20s?
Well, yeah. In third grade, I remember specifically I was drinking a Dr. Pepper, and I
Stop
heard it on a baseball
Stop it.
field. No joke.
Are you...
This sounds very. I know. Nicole's looking at me like I'm crazy. Baseball field. I was drinking a Dr. Pepper. Somebody was playing it on their stereo. It was coming from the radio, and I was like, "Oh, I like that." Like that part where it goes, "Oh." You know what I'm talking about? It was like a remix version of it, kind of.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
that's how we're gonna end the show.
ever.
No, I'm
I
kidding.
mean, yeah, exactly. Do you know that in second grade, we had a talent show and my mother made me sing I Will Survive?
Made you sing it?
She was like, I mean, like, I did it. She didn't have to make me, because but she was like, you know what you should do for the talent show, son? And I was like, well, Mom, and she was like, you should sing I Will Survive because I was teased a lot in school. She was like, because you will survive. So I got up there. Wow. Now in hindsight, I look back and I'm like, probably made things worse. Potentially made things worse. But I got up there to sort of tell the school, I will survive all of this teasing.
So you were teased.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. But I think it potentially made things worse for a period of time.
Yeah.
After the talent show. But I know all the words to I Will Survive. Still.
JR. I saw
That should be.
You have something on Beat Bugs on Netflix coming out?
Oh, I do, yes. Yeah, I'm on
It's already on August
Netflix.
3rd. It's already out there right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's Beat Bugs. What is this? I saw a trailer for it and I was
Beat
interested.
Bugs, yeah, it's this animation series on Netflix, and it is the first time that the Beatles have released their library, and so every episode is a Beatles song, and the kind of story is at the core, what that song is about, and then it's amazing performers like Sia and
Wow.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to end it there then. It's just all Sia. No, it's just a slew of amazing performers that sing the songs for the album, for each episode. And it is about these little tiny bugs that live in the backyard of this house, beat bugs. And they're the ones who sing and everything. And they're all little different bugs. And in the house is a little girl and her parents. And I'm the voice of the dad. I play the dad, and you only see my feet and my legs, and he's quite a large man. When they sent me the thing in there, it's like he's huge. I was like, oh, and I was so excited. I rewatched Wall-E. I was like, because I was like, the size I've never done. He's a big, huge, large man. And I went in the first day to record, and I had a couple of different voices, and I did the first one, and Josh, our director, was like, "No, JR, just do your regular voice." And I was like, "Oh, okay, right." And then I did another version. Like, no, Josh, JR, we just want like your regular voice. And I went, "Right, so just like this voice, just that voice." And I went, "Just like this?" And I go, "Yeah." And I went, "Yeah, but did you guys see the picture of the guy? He's huge." And they're like, "Yeah, we just want your voice." And I was like, "Oh," I was so bummed. Everybody else around me is doing like incredible voices, and I'm just looking around the room like going, "Oh my God, you're all so talented." And then being like, "Come on, sweetheart, get to the house." Sorry.
Do you still remember the voice you were doing for it?
It's just this. It's this voice.
No, I mean the voices you had prepared.
It was. I had one that was like.
Because you get a chance now.
I could, right?
Yeah.
It was like I just made him very round and kind of, and I just made him what I thought was fat. So I was like, "Come on, sweetheart, let's get," like he always had like some food stored in the back of his mouth. Right. "Come on, sweetheart, let's get back to the house." I think maybe in hindsight he might have sounded like he had some brain damage, so that probably wasn't a good thing.
Gotcha. Well,
Beat Bugs on Netflix. They will not love that. That's it's an amazing show, though.
No,
I'm very
yeah.
excited about
That's
it.
really cool
really
that
am.
they mixed. I like remixes a lot, just to see people's rendition on
Yeah.
just whatever.
Oh yeah. Like
so
to
that's
hear
cool.
Sia
Like
sing one of the
Beatles song. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Pretty amazing.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. It was such a blast having
You were
you on.
so welcome.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure. I'm so excited I came. Is
Yeah.
that it? We're done?
We're done. I'm sorry. It goes by quick, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah, man. We'll have you on next time. Next thing you want to push. So whenever you want to come
Another
on.
100 years? Or 100 days?
100 days, sure. Or we do it less. Whatever.
I'm going to watch Red Belt, and you're going to watch Woman of the
Umbrella.
Influence
Oh,
by John Cassavetes. Umbrella, is that the name of it?
No, I
I don't remember.
don't know. See what we did there?
Water bottle.
Thank
Thank you, everybody.
you very much,
Thank
everybody.
you.
JR, thanks for coming on the show, man. If there's just one piece of advice you can give to struggling artists out there before we leave, what would you say?
Trust that you will get the jobs you're meant to get. So just go in and, have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well put.
Thanks, JR. Check out Teen Wolf coming up soon, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's coming up soon. Well, no, I'm just saying it's coming up
We
soon.
do. We start airing
Yes.
soon.
Yeah,
We
soon.
start airing the first.
We'll tweet about it. That way we can keep you guys on your toes.
I will as well.
Yeah.
I promise. I totally will.
We hope so.
Thanks, Jordan, for what you do on the show. Appreciate it. At Jordan Burbank 7.
Do you know what I do on the show?
I think so. Nikki,
Always.
thanks for what you do. And a special shout out to our new cool intern, Thomas. Thanks for coming on the show, man, and being part of the team.
He's behind the cameras.
He's behind the cameras. Behind the cameras.
Here he comes.
Oh, is he coming in front of the cameras?
I didn't approve that.
Then you sign a talent form.
Yeah.
Thanks to GBB Studios. Thank you, Gabe, for everything that you do on the show. You can find me at Sam Quiche. Check us out on our actor page. Actor page? No, that's my actor page. Check our website out, actorsanonymouspodcast.com. We still have a Patreon page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Check us out there. We do some cool giveaways on there as well. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk.